Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Never met a person like DMX ever in your life.
Oh my God! Salute to just rest in peace, DMX.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm mad I didn't get to meet him.
I used to make beats, and DMX purchased 3 of my beats. He overpaid me, and then he put it in his movie. And every time the movie got released to every country, I got paid. And he told me to put it in my kid's name, so the kids get all the royalties for that.
Salute to the dog, man.
Salute to
Damn,
DMX. He was
dope.
just a
That's
good dude.
He was a spirit.
Oh my gosh.
He was a spirit, not a
Oh
ghost.
my gosh. All right. All right, morning everybody. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. We'll start off quickly with some sports. Thursday night football. The Rams take on the Seahawks at 8:15. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, Envy. Jess, Charlamagne, how y'all doing this morning?
Peace, Mimi Brown.
Girl.
Good morning. All right, so we start this morning at the White House, where President Trump addressed the nation with a clear objective to set the narrative for his second term. Now, in the 18-minute address, the president, he touched on a wide range of issues, including the economy, immigration, crime, conflict overseas. And early in his speech, he made it clear where he places the blame, opening with criticism of the Biden administration and the country that he says he inherited. Let's listen to what he had to say.
11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people. Many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country.
I cannot accept that. The reason I cannot accept that is because Donald Trump said on day one he was going to fix the economy. Okay, he volunteered that lie, and since that hasn't happened, we got to hold him to that.
Exactly. And speaking of that, Charlamagne, much of his speech, it focused on the economy. The president, he argued that his administration, they've already made progress bringing prices down, even though millions of Americans, they say they still continue to feel the squeeze by the cost of everyday groceries, housing, utilities, and other basic expenses. Let's listen to what he had to say about the economy.
I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly.
He's making the same mistake the Biden administration did. Like, Biden tried to tell us the economy was good when it wasn't. You can't tell people they don't feel what they feel.
Like what?
Exactly. And recent polling shows the majority of Americans say the economy is not working well for them personally. 7 in 10 say the cost of living in their community is no longer affordable. And with the 2026 midterm elections approaching, the economy is expected to be the central issue. One of the biggest moments of the night came when the president announced what he calls a warrior dividend. It's a $1,776 bonus check that he is sending to 1.4 million service members. It's tied to the nation's 250th anniversary. He said those checks are already on the way, and he said they have been funded by tariff revenue.
Crazy thing is you could play with semantics, right? That's what he did, right? You talk about the car industry, right? When Biden was in, yes, the car industry was high, but it wasn't because of Biden. It was because of what happened with COVID and everything was shut down, so they couldn't build any cars. So because they couldn't build any cars, the demand was high, so people were paying overpriced to get the cars that they need. As soon as the world opened back up and these car manufacturers were able to build again and people were able to fly, everything went right back down as, you know, the country would. Had nothing to do with Trump. This was all with supply and demand.
That don't mean people could afford the cars, though.
No, they couldn't afford the cars, but that was the reason why the car prices was up. Had nothing to do with government. Had to do it because COVID shut the world down.
Yeah. And to your point, Envy, now that they went down, they're back up because of tariffs.
Correct.
So,
And now they're back up because of tariffs.
And people still can't afford them.
You still can't afford
yeah,
it.
they still can't afford them. So turning now really quickly to Capitol Hill, House Speaker Mike Johnson, he is sending lawmakers home early for the holidays without a deal to stop health insurance premiums from rising. Now, House Republicans, they passed a health care bill yesterday, but it does not include those extended Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire in just 14 days. GOP leaders say the bill lowers health care costs in other ways by expanding cheaper insurance options, lowering some premiums, and targeting drug prices. But those missing subsidies, they sparked sort of a revolt on the House floor yesterday. 4 House Republicans, they broke with their own party. They sided with Democrats, using a procedural vote to force a vote on extending those subsidies for 3 years. And Democrats say Speaker Mike Johnson, he sent lawmakers home to avoid dealing with the issue. Let's hear what Jasmine Crockett had to say on that issue.
You know, we are supposed to be in session until Friday. The speaker, he loves to run when things get tough. That's not leadership, that's cowardice. And so that is what he's decided to do. We saw this happen when it came down to the Epstein files. He decided to send Congress out. Right now, we are supposed to be in until Friday. He has decided that our last day is going to be tomorrow because he does not want to deal with the fact that we have a ripe discharge petition that is sitting in front of him that could not only help our constituents, but help his.
Let me just tell you, when you talk about revolt, you're gonna see that crazy. Like I've been dealing with the healthcare system in the last couple of weeks. They're saying that the volume of people that go to the hospital has risen 40%. They said people are scared to go to the hospital now because they don't know if they can afford it. Right? They're talking about the price of ambulance bills, the price of emergency room bills, the price of I have to decide if I'm going to take my child, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my niece, my aunt to the doctor because I can't afford it because the premiums are going to be too high, or I can't afford to take them to the hospital. And they're talking about, well, we'll figure it out later. It's going to be crazy. And especially with the flu. The flu has been hitting the kids and old people like crazy. If they don't figure this out, it is going to be a nasty mess. Because if I go to the hospital and I got to figure out if I can afford it or take my kid or figure something out, it's going to be disgusting.
Well, get ready for a nasty mess, sir.
It is going to be a nasty mess.
Yeah, because with the House being sent home, that forced vote won't happen until January, which all but guarantees that premiums will rise on January 1st. So, you know, it's going to be a big backlash. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, y'all, coming up at 7, Christmas stress might be doing more than draining your wallet. It could be draining the mood, too. So we'll explain what I mean by that.
You know what? I don't need no more bad news.
It's not bad news. It's not bad news. Draining the mood. Intimacy, mood.
All right.
Oh, okay. All
Sex,
right.
libido.
Okay, drain.
Horniness.
Okay.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. Now in Thursday Night Football, the Rams play the Seahawks at 8:15 on Prime Video. Also, the Knicks decide against hanging NBA Cup banner at Madison Square Garden. So they're not going to hang up that cup. They want a real chip. They said, we'll take it, but we want a real chip to hang up a banner. I ain't mad.
Hey, speaking of the Knicks, they say that video of Josh Hart putting his thumb in Jalen Brunson's butt was AI.
Was it?
I don't, man. I'm telling you, I cannot live the rest of my life asking if something is real or not. I have no idea if it was real.
It was on the NBA page?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I don't know.
Nah, that was real, man. Don't they do stuff like that all the time?
No, they don't do stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, that was crazy. They might slap you on the butt. Good play, but that was wild.
Damn.
I don't know if it was. I don't know. I just saw somebody say it was AI. I don't know if it was AI.
I don't think it was AI. All right, but anyway, what's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MB. Jess, Charlamagne, how y'all doing this
Peace,
morning?
Mimi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we start this hour at the White House, drawing attention this morning, not for new policy, but for new plaques. So they're part of a recently added presidential Walk of Fame mounted beneath portraits of past presidents, and several are taking sharp aim at President Trump's predecessors, including President Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Now, one plaque calls President Biden the worst president in American history. It repeats false claims about the 2020 election and blames him for inflation, immigration, the Afghanistan withdrawal, and global conflicts. Another targets former President Obama using his full name, calling him decisive, attacking the Affordable Care Act and repeating debunked conspiracy theories about spying in Russia. Now, White House officials, they confirmed that President Trump, he personally wrote many of those plaques, calling them his version of history. And last night, former Vice President Kamala Harris, she weighed in on the frustration during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Let's listen to what she had to say.
The idea that those plaques would have been placed by a president of the United States to talk about former presidents of the United States. The American people deserve better.
And a lot of times, you can't help but laugh at it, but is this coordinated or is this just random chaos?
It is not random chaos. First of all, I know that it has felt chaotic, but what we are in fact witnessing is something that is a high velocity event. It is moving quickly, which is the swift implementation of a plan that has been, in a large part, decades in the making. And yes, part of the crazy is meant to distract from the fact. The guy said, and I believe there were a fair number of people who voted for him who believed him when he said on day one he was going to bring down prices.
Yep.
And look where we are. The price of food is up, unemployment is up, inflation is up. And so what does he do? He keeps dropping bombs. That is because he wants to distract from the fact and have us talk full time about the crazy instead of the fact that people are being challenged right now about being able to pay their rent, buy food, get Christmas gifts for their kids. And he doesn't want us talking about the fact that he has destroyed the economy in so many ways.
She is absolutely correct. like every single word.
Yeah, that was last night's episode of Jimmy Kimmel. It's really an interesting watch. So if you get a chance to watch the whole thing, but yeah, she definitely went in and explained a lot of things. You know, she talked about Project 2025 and how it's literally been in the making for decades and what we're seeing now. And this plan of, you know, how we talk about it never stops. It just keeps going. That is by design. And so it was a really good listen.
Now,
and
I will say this, Mimi, you know, me and the vice president had this conversation. Whenever they talk about Project 2025 being decades in the making, the question I have to ask is, then what was y'all defense? If y'all knew that this was decades in the making, why weren't y'all creating a defense for it for decades as well? Like, I understand her rhetoric, but I just was like, well, what were y'all doing while they was making Project 2025?
Which is a very good question. But getting back to those plaques, the White House has not said how they were funded or whether government resources were used to make them. Did you guys see the photos of those new plaques that are along the presidential wall?
I saw Obama and Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. If you haven't seen it, take a look. And from Washington, now we turn to Atlanta, where after more than a year of resisting Republican demands for her testimony, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, she went to the Georgia State Capitol yesterday. She spent 3 hours forcefully defending herself before a special Senate committee, she says, was created to attack her politically. Now, Republican lawmakers, they formed the committee to investigate what they described as misconduct by Willis following her decision to indict President Trump and 18 others over their efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, from the start, the hearing was combative. Lawmakers, they pressed Willis on her use of public funds, whether she coordinated with the Biden administration, and how her office handled open record requests and her spending on a media tracking subscription. Now, Willis, she pushed back, calling the panel a political sideshow and accusing Republican senators of using the investigation to boost their campaigns. Let's listen to some of that exchange.
You all want to intimidate people from doing the right thing, and you think that you're going to intimidate me. You all have been trying to intimidate me for 5 years, which is why I have not been able to live in my house for 5 years, because the N-word has been written on my house. Thousands of threats have come to my office, and instead of doing some legislation, when someone says something inflammatory that you know is going to cause them to be the victims of crime, you ought to do something about it. But you see, I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I ain't gonna quit in a month because somebody threatens me. I took an oath to do the right thing. People came into my community and committed a crime, and I indicted them. And rest assured, if someone else comes in my community and commits a crime, I will indict them again.
Well, Republicans, in turn, they accused Willis of dodging accountability, engaging in theatrics, and they pointed to records showing her campaign donations and raised questions about her office spending and investigative tactics. Let's listen to what their response was.
I think about my friends who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars defending themselves against these politically motivated charges, and that's the witch hunt. And we were today trying to get to the bottom of the witch hunt that went on against the president and the other Georgians and people from out of state that had to endure this prosecution over the course of a couple of years before she was removed for the appearance of impropriety.
I don't think that you can call that a witch hunt though. Like attempting to prosecute Donald Trump for election interference, that was the right thing to do. Like, I mean, we heard the phone call. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you can call that a witch hunt.
Yeah. Well, that case, which accused Trump and others of election interference, it ultimately did not go to trial. Several defendants, they took plea deals, but last month a judge dismissed the remaining charges after Willis was removed over ethical concerns tied to a relationship with a contract attorney on the case. And Republicans, they say the committee will now review the testimony and documents to decide what steps, if any, will come next, Charlamagne. So
she, I mean, now that's a different conversation. Now, did she fumble a career case over some penis? Yes, yes, she did. Okay, but still going after, attempting to prosecute Donald Trump for election interference, that was the right call. But she did fumble the career case over some penis. Now that's the conversation.
Yeah, there was a talk about that too during that hearing yesterday, in which she stuck up for the attorney that you're speaking of in that case.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing had a curve to it then.
What? I knew you was ready to say that.
What? Damn.
Okay. Well, yes, she did. She stuck up for him, saying that he helped her office get into tip-top shape, and he contributed to the prosecution, into the whole campaign of trying to prosecute Trump and the other defendants. So we will continue to watch that and see where this goes. And switching gears a little bit, how many of us know someone who's not disabled but still uses a disabled placard? Anybody?
Yeah, girl.
I used to do that.
I ain't gonna say me, but
yeah, and I didn't used to do it, but if somebody was riding and they had one in their car and they parked in the handicap space, I'm lying.
Yeah, telling yourself,
I didn't
be
care.
quiet.
I was gonna say sometime I'll be like, you turn out to be what you pretend to be, but it depends how much of a rush we was in.
Yeah. Well, now there's a crackdown happening across the country about that. Authorities say abuse of disabled parking placards has gotten so bad it's hurting people who actually need those spots, seniors, veterans, and people who have real mobility challenges who are they're having to be pushed further and further away. And officials say the problem has gotten especially bad in Miami. So Miami-Dade County, they just announced a full audit of every disabled parking permit issued over the last 2 years. So if a placard is expired, fake, stolen, or being used by the wrong person, officers can take it on the spot. And officials, they say that lying on an application or using someone else's permit is a crime punishable by fines, even jail time. And county leaders say those blue spaces, they aren't a convenience, they're a lifeline, and they're trying to take them back from people who have been abusing them and getting away with it.
Can I ask a question, Mimi? I know it's a lot of disabled people in this country, but man, those spots are usually always open. How come they never in the store when I'm in there?
Well, maybe they're taking a long time to get there, but I mean, you gotta have the spot. I parked one time. My daughter had to go to the bathroom, so I parked in the spot and I ran in. I got a ticket.
But they have the spot for people with young kids sometimes.
Well, they didn't have it, but then I parked in the handicap, ran inside. I got a ticket, and in New Jersey, you can't pay a fine. You have to go to court.
Really?
And then when I went to court, I was like, I'm just going to say my daughter had to go to the bathroom.
Just walking there limping?
No, the judge rolled out. The judge was in a wheelchair.
No!
Yes.
Oh!
The judge was in a wheelchair.
For that ass.
Gave me $750 fine.
Good for you.
And I never parked.
I wouldn't even have said that. I'd be like, Judge, you got me here, man.
$750.
Here, Professor Xavier. You got me.
Yo, he got me. Got me.
They did that on purpose to you, MB. They were like, we're going to give him Judge so-and-so just because.
But he was going in on everybody that parked. He was going crazy.
Legend.
I said, I'm sorry.
Salute to that legend, man.
I'm sorry. $750 in Jersey.
That legend of a judge.
Never again. Nope.
Yeah. Well, that fine in, I think, Miami is $1,000 or punishable by 6 months in jail. So, yeah.
Well, people do really respect it though, because like I said, those spots are always open. So even if their people aren't there in the store, people respect it to not park in those spots.
But she's saying not in Miami. Miami, they don't respect them. They just park, pull up, and go. So.
Yeah. So they're doing a full audit. So if you're in Miami, listen up. They are coming for you if you do not have if you were not issued a proper placard. So. All right, y'all. And lastly, here's something that might surprise a lot of couples. So Christmas might be actually killing the mood. So researchers say interest in sex goes up around the holidays, but for many couples, the stress of Christmas is getting in the way of intimacy. Psychologists say it's not about desire, it's about pressure. So Christmas for couples, it means travel, family, obligations, hosting, shopping, financial stress, and long days. So by the end of the night, most couples are just exhausted. And then here comes New Year's though, and then it flips, the pattern flips. Researchers say intimacy, it often rebounds for couples around New Year's because the energy is different. It's a celebration, it's not an obligation. There's a countdown, there's champagne, music, staying up late, and a sense of starting fresh together. So that makes sense, right? What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. It makes sense. The pressure of it all definitely is a mood drainer, but I mean,
is it?
Yeah. Especially if you
I
just
can see
somebody
that.
sent you a whole Christmas list, or
Yeah,
your
it could be
relationship is
stressful.
new.
It
and
could
this
be
is the
stressful.
fir-
Yeah, you're right. It could
Imagine
be
you
stressful.
just got with somebody and locked down in October, and Christmas is like the first official holiday that y'all gonna spend together. That's a lot of pressure because it's like, damn, this our first Christmas. I ain't gonna be able to get you nothing.
Yeah, y'all should have had that conversation in October because the reality is I don't think you deserve nothing if y'all just got together in October. It's like a 90-day probationary period. I'm not buying you nothing for
No.
Christmas and I just met you in October.
No. You didn't just meet this person, but you locked in. Like you made it official in October.
I don't know what,
Now
I'm going to be honest with you. I've been married so long, I don't even know what making it official means.
Oh, wow. Loren just made it official in the Bahamas with her
Oh,
boyfriend.
please. That girl got ringworm. Not listening to her.
You are silly.
What's
But think about, we just got through finished talking about affordability, right? So if
Yep.
families are going through a lot and Christmas stress, couples may not, they don't feel like getting it in. But when the New Year's comes around, they made it through Christmas, and so they feel better. And
That's true.
when it goes back up.
But honestly,
Yeah.
man, that's why you have to have more than material things
in a relationship?
In a relationship, man. Like, it should be mental. It should be spiritual. You know what I mean? It should be emotional. Like, those three things will always keeping you wanting to be physical with your significant other. I think so. Anyway.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with what you can buy somebody, right? Because times go up, things go up, things go down.
That's right.
Your paycheck goes up, paycheck goes down. You have a lot of money, you have a little bit of money. But that love you have, forget all that stuff. If your relationship is based off of finances, it's not going to last long.
I want all y'all single people out there to remember that, I'm telling you, the spiritual connection, spiritual, mental, emotional, that's how you should be trying to connect with a person.
Talk that talk, babe.
Yeah.
First of all, hush your noise.
He came back. First of all.
Right? He want to be my soulmate so bad.
How silly. All right. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more stories, follow the Black Information Network, download the free iHeartRadio app, and visit BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?